Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajeem. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum to everyone who is listening my lecture. Today's lecture belongs to English grammar. That the topic includes is voices. That what are basically voices? Moving towards the next slide. That what is basically voices is the form of verb that shows whether the subject of a sentence does an action or has an action done to it. Called voice. Means they are talking about basically the subject of a sentence, whether it does an action, whether it has an action. It's called as voice. Okay, there are basically two types of voices. The types of voices are the two types of voices. One is active voice and second is passive voice. What is active? Let us study in our side. Active voice. In active voice, the subject of the sentence performs the action denoted by verb. Means basically the subject is present or subject is active in a sentence. Means that a sentence has a subject that acts upon its verb. Or subject is the doer of an action or subject is active. These all definitions belong to active. And you will be more cleared after the slide, but through the example and so on. Passive voice is used to show interest in the people or object that experiences an action rather than the person or object that performs the action. Means that a subject is a recipient of a verb's action or object is the receiver of an action. Here passive subject is passive. Passive means inactive. Although object is present in passive voice. Okay, basically in active the work is of subject and in passive the work is of object. Moving to our next slide. Rules for going from active to passive. Number one is identify the tense. Number two, break into SVO. SVO means subject, verb, object. How to? Let me show you through the annotation. Let me show you through the. Okay, can you see over here? For example, sorry, he plays cricket. Cricket. Here is the sentence. Okay, he plays cricket. Let us break it into subject verb object. He plays cricket. Is it so? Subject, verb, and object. Here proving it. Subject, verb, and object. This is how to break a sentence into subject, verb, object. Into means a sentence. They are talking about this sentence. And then apply the formula. What's the formula? Let's move on to the next slide. That was the formula. The formula is basically, first let me show you the formula. Formula for going from active to passive is object plus helping verb plus verb third form plus subject. This is the permanent formula for going from any active to any passive. Here helping verb are changed according to the tenses. Okay, moving backward. Sorry. Subject, verb, object. Subject means doer of an action. Verb means an action. Object means receiver of an action. Okay? Remember this. SVO, subject, doer of an action, verb, an action, object, receiver of an action means he plays cricket. Again, I'm writing sentence for you over here. She plays cricket. She plays cricket. She plays cricket. Subject is the doer of an action. Where is the action? Here. This is This is the action. This is the action. Action. Cricket is receiving the action done by the subject. Subject is the doer of an action. The action is being done by the subject. The action is being done by the subject. Subject is she. Cricket is the doer, or sorry, the receiver of an action, that is receiving the action, that playing what? Playing cricket. This is the basically example giving to you. Moving forward, you must have to learn this formula permanently for going from any active to passive. Learn this. Easy trick to learn this formula is repeat this formula again and again. Object plus helping verb plus verb, third form plus subject. Repeat again. This will be this way will help you to learn this formula. Moving towards next, giving you an example of active and passive voice. Voice, two types of voices. Active, what subject does. Belong, active voices belongs that what subject does, while passive belongs that the or the focus is on the action done by the object. Active is Ram killed Ravan. What was the um what was the rule for going from active to passive? Let us repeat again. First was identify the tense. Second was break into subject verb object, and third was apply the formula. Let us do these all steps. According to the first way or first rule, that was identify the tense. The tense is Ram kills Ravan. Subject plus verb, second form plus object, that belongs to past simple. According to the tenses or tenses in active passive, how we can change the tense, I will discuss it in the next my slide. Before that, let me tell you, past indefinite will be changed according to its auxiliary verbs are was and were. So was is used for singular subject, that is the passive will be Ravan was killed by Ram. Let me again write the formula over here. Object plus helping verb plus verb, third form plus by plus subject. Okay, this was the formula. Object is Ravan over here. In the active, this formula will be changed according to from going from active to passive. Subject Ram, verb killed, object Raman. Object was Raman. Rawan was is the helping verb we choose according to the past indefinite. The auxiliary verb was and were. We have third form is over here, the same form. Hmm, yes. Plus by is over here and subject is Ram according to it. Now I'm pretty sure that this will help you how to move from active to passive. Okay. Active voice. At each concert, the soprano sang at least one tune from a well-known opera. This is a sentence. Subject is over here, soprano. Soprano. Here is the subject, that is doer of an action. Here is the verb and tune is the object. Okay. Soprano, doer of an action, sang action, and tune, receiver of action. The passive voice is, oh, I haven't cleared my drawings. Sorry. Passive voice. At each concert, at least one tune from a well-known opera was sung by the soprano. According to the passive formula, we have changed this. Now, receiver of action means object is over here, action, verb is on its place, and doer of an action is over here. Okay. Active voice verbs are written with the subject performing the process. Example, I read the paper. How can you know that this sentence read is read or read? How would you know this? The simple thing is that I is used, uh, I is always used as read. Passive voice verbs are written with the subject receiving the action expressed by the verb. The thing was, I read the paper. I read the paper will be changed according to the past. I've chosen the examples of only past indefinite. The auxiliary verbs in passive is was were. Okay, so the paper was read. Was read by me. Here's the subject is missing. Let me write over here. Read. Oh, sorry, read by me. Here is the sentence completed. I read the paper. The paper was read by me. Okay, moving on to the next slide. Active voice. Egyptians built the pyramids of Giza. Who built the pyramids of Giza? Egyptians. Passive voices. The pyramids of Giza was built by Egyptians. This is how to change from active to passive. Now I'm pretty sure that it would be clear for you through the example. Okay. Okay, now the basically this slide belongs to the uh, converting of active passive, conversion of active passive to passive voice, active voice to passive voice. Active and passive voice rules for present simple tense. There in this table we are elaborating There in this table, we are elaborating rules of active and passive voice with examples for present simple. Active voice subject plus verb. First form, SES plus object is the simple tense formula. ठीक है, of present simple. Let me again write over here. This sentence belongs to affirmative. This is affirmative sentence. Okay. This is negative sentence. And this is interrogative. Okay. Affirmative is this. And while changing to the passive voice, the auxiliary verb is MR. So the structure will be object plus is MR plus verb third form plus by plus subject. Negative subject plus do does plus not plus verb first form plus object, and the passive voice will be object plus is MR plus not plus verb third form plus by plus and subject. Interrogative is does plus subject plus verb first form plus object plus question mark. Question mark is the important thing, you know. Is MR, the passive will be is MR plus object plus verb third form plus by plus subject. You can take the screenshot or you can remember it, that how we can change from active to passive. This is handmade, made by me. Active and passive voice rules for past simple tense. There, in this table, we are elaborating rules of active and passive voice with examples for past simple. Now, I'll not read this line. I will just convert it. Active voice subject. Let me first give you the present simple tense. Any example? Okay, the example will be example is she drinks milk. Okay. She drinks milk. This is active voice, okay? While changing it into passive voice, with the help of this formula, we can change into passive. The passive will be milk. Milk is drunk by her. The passive will be milk is drunk by her. Object milk is MR. According to milk, we use is. What third form of drink is drunk. By additional subject is she. She will be changed over here according to the passive voice. It will become her. Okay. Mm, Moving towards our next slide. For past simple tense, verb second form. Here is the tense structure formula. Remember that auxiliary verb will be was and were. Let me change these sentences into past simple. I have done this he. I have changed this I into he because in I you will be confused that is this word written as read or read. With he we always use reads or reads. Okay, but it is the past. That's why it will be he read newspaper. This is active voice. Okay, the passive will be Newspaper was read by him. Okay, this is how to change from active to passive in past simple. Moving towards the future simple. The future simple auxiliary passive helping verbs are will be. Will be. So let us change this into will be the sentence. He is oh sorry. He will read. Let me take this sentence as negative. He will not read newspaper. Okay. The passive will be newspaper will be read will not be read by him. Okay, this is how to change in future simple. Moving towards next, before moving towards present continuous tense, let me clear one confusion here, that only selective tenses are being changed from active to passive. For example, there are only 8 tenses that are changed from active to passive, while the remaining 4 tenses are skipped. How are they skipped? They are skipped like the future continuous and all the perfect continuous are skipped. They are not changed into active. They are not changed from active to passive. Okay, remember this thing. I will clear this confusion as moving towards that tense. Present continuous tense, the auxiliary verbs are is, am, are plus being. The addition is of being. The helping verb will be same. There is no place. Okay. The active is he is reading. Let me take it as affirmative. Is or am I reading newspaper? Question mark. This is active, and going from active to passive, the passive will be sorry. The passive will be is the newspaper being read by me? Question mark. Now you will be thinking, is the newspaper being read by me? You are now thinking that this am is changed is. This am is now is in passive voice, and how is this change possible? This change is due to the object. The helping verb is being chosen according to the object, according to the object in passive. For example, The newspaper is single. Newspapers are not plural, they are singular. For singular use is. So is the newspaper being read by me? Is newspaper, skip this R, sorry, is this the, okay, is newspaper being read by me? Is, this is according to the object, remember this, because newspaper is singular, according to singular use is. This confusion is also cleared. Moving towards our next. Past continuous auxiliary verbs are was verb plus being. The helping verb in continuous tense remains same. Addition of being is there. Here I am just verbally giving you the example. She was drinking milk. And the passive will be she was, sorry, the drink was being drunk by her. Like this, she was not drinking milk. The milk was not being drunk by her. Was the milk being drunk by her? Question mark. Present perfect tense. Now you will be asking, where is the future continuous? The future continuous is not added because of the rule. Because in active and passive voice, there is no kind of continuous tense in future that is being changed from active to passive. Future continuous is being skipped. Number one, first out of those four tenses, one is future continuous that is not being changed from active to passive. Okay, then moving towards directly to present perfect tense, the auxiliary verb or the helping verb. Helping verb basically means auxiliary verbs. Passive voice helping verb is has have plus been. The basically the helping verb remains same, but the addition is of being been. Okay, let me give you a sentence. She has built a house. A house has been built by her. She has not built a house. A house has not been built by her. Has a how has she built a house? Has a house been built by her? Question mark. Past perfect tense. The auxiliary verb, passive helping verb, the helping verb remains same, had, but the addition is of been. Sentence will be she had built a house. A house had been built by her. Same in negative and interrogative. Future perfect tense is the last tense. Okay. Last tense is the auxiliary verb, passive helping verb. Future perfect tense are will have plus been. The helping verb remains same, but the addition is of been in passive voice. This, let me give you another example. My father will have bought fresh vegetables. Fresh vegetables have been bought by my father. This is how to change from active to passive in future perfect. Now moving towards the helping verb in this passive. Okay, this chart includes everything done, but the by plus subject is missing in this structure. Okay, there is only object in passive voice. I'm talking there is only object plus helping verb plus verb third form. Okay, there is no subject is absent, and by, the word addition of by in passive voice we used to do is also absent. In present simple, I do my homework, my homework is done. Present continuous, I'm doing my homework is being done. Past simple, I did my homework was done. Past continuous, I was doing my homework was being done. Present perfect, I have done my homework was has been done. Past perfect, had done, the passive will be had been done. Future simple, I will do. Active, active will do. Passive will be done. Future, be going to means future continuous. Okay. going to do is going to be done. Modal verbs must do, must be done. Modal perfect should have done, should have been done. I've not added the imperative sentences or any modal verb in this. Linking verb, this kind of voices are not added. I've just simply explained the basic use of active and passive. Moving towards the next table. This table is being made. This table is made by me, and here I'm going to ask you that find out the missing or incorrect thing in this table. Let's go. There is given you all the chart, all the tenses chart, and the formula of passive voice, but the formula of passive voice includes something missing or incorrect. You have to figure it out, then I'll tell. Basically, you can write on the chat or comment box. I will answer you. Uh, the missing thing, there is basically the missing thing, not incorrect thing. The missing thing is I'm writing over here. The color that is not being chosen over here is the missing thing is by. By is missing in whole of this formula table of passive voice. Here you can see after what third form, here the word we used is by. So the by is missing in every tense, each tense. Okay. Okay. The next here is an exercise for you. You have to solve it by yourself. Active and passive voice. Name, date. Here is giving you in this box there is giving you an example about active and passive voice and the structure. Directions. Read each sentence. Decide whether each sentence is using active voice or passive voice. You have to identify. The identification of active and passive is active includes subject first, while the passive includes object first. So you have to identify first, and then you have to change according to the sentence. The girl was bitten by the dog. By is over here. This is passive sentence. According to this, we will change it into active. The subject first, the dog. Sorry, the dog was verb. Was verb is auxiliary verb of past indefinite. So be the dog bit or bite. The dog bit the girl. The girl. Full stop. This is active voice. The dog bit the girl. The girl was bitten by the dog. Okay. Research will be presented by Einstein at the conference. This is the which sentence? This sentence is passive, Second one is also passive because here we are using by and the first object is over here. So let us change it into active. By Einstein at the conference, there are double objects. The double object sentence is this. There is Einstein and at the conference. These are two different things. So first of all, Einstein will be is the auxiliary verb of future indefinite. So future indefinite will. Einstein will Einstein will present present. I'm solving this exercise. All done. Thank you. Okay, this is all done. Thank you for taking the lecture. Thank you so much and have a nice day. Allah Hafiz.